Well guys, we'll continue with the next topic. So in the previous class, if you guys remember, actually we were discussing about the substitution ciphers. So in substitution ciphers we had two types of ciphers. I mean to say, the examples we had discussed about, one was monoalphabetic cipher, the other one was polyalphabetic ciphers. So the examples were like Caesar cipher, Vigenère cipher, one-time pad, Hill cipher, as such. Okay, so now we'll move on to the other type of ciphering technique, that is transposition cipher. So the here as you can see, this transposition cipher is a cipher where I'll not substitute any character by another character, but instead in the given plain text I'll be either shuffling or rearranging, or I can also say it as permuting. So permuting the given plain text. So you can have a better understanding with an example here. As you can see here, the plain text that I have considered here is begin operation at noon. So what I'll do is I'll just store them in the form of matrix. So I'll just store them, or I'll just represent them in a row major ordering fashion. Okay, so you can just observe here, I have just written the plain text in row major order, that is BEGINOPERATIONATNOON. Okay, so now you'll definitely have a question, ma'am, what should be the dimension of the matrix? Is there any standard as such? There is nothing as such, guys. So what you'll do is the two person who are communicating, I mean to say the sender and the receiver, so they'll be deciding what the matrix dimension should be. Okay, so here in my example I've considered it to be 5 cross 4. Okay, 5 rows, as you can see here, 5 rows and 4 columns. So to start with the encryption, what we'll do is, as I already mentioned, in transposition matrix we'll be either shuffling or rearranging or permuting the characters here. Okay, see, actually in the implementation end, these things happens in the terms of ones and zeros. Okay, because as you all know, the computers will definitely work with binary. Okay, so here for your understanding purpose I've taken the characters directly. Okay, so what we'll do is we want to rearrange it, is it? So for rearranging purpose, first I'll work with the row rearranging, then we'll work with column rearranging. Okay, so see here in the example what we have considered, I'll just make the 4th row as first row, 3rd row as second row, 1st row as 3rd row, 5th row as 4th row, 2nd row as 5th row. Okay, so see here the 4th row what I have, ONAT, so I'll just write it in the 1st row. Okay, so 3rd row what I have, in the 3rd row I have RATI. Okay, so this RATI I'll just store in the 2nd row. So the same thing, first row content BEGI, so BEGI, next NOON, NOON, that is 5th row content. Finally the second row content is NOPE, so that NOPE is copied here. Fine. So next what we can do is, once after the row rearrangement or shuffling what has happened right now, so now what I can do is I'll go for the column rearrangement. Okay, so in column rearrangement what I'll do, the 3rd column I'll make it as 1st column, 4th column I'll make it as 2nd column, 2nd column content I'll make it as 3rd column, and 1st column content I'll make it as 4th column. Okay, so see here in the 3rd column what I have, see this I'll be applying, see this reshuffling or rearrangement or shuffling what I'm doing, I'll be applying that to the row transposition, the resultant of row transposition. Okay, so in the row transposition what am I exactly doing here, the 3rd column element, 3rd column elements are what, ATGOP, so ATGOP I'll copy it to the 1st column. Okay, next 4th column element TIINE, 4th column becomes 2nd column. Second column elements NA EOO, I guess, yeah, that is copied. And finally we have ORBNN, so ORBNN will be copied. Okay, so this is the resultant of column transposition. So we are done with row transposition, and then followed by that we have column transposition. So we'll end at this point and we'll write the ciphertext. So how to write the row column transposition? So column transposition, I'll just copy it in the similar order, row major ordering, ATNOTIAR, see, the same way. Okay, so this is all about the elementary transposition, and whatever I did just now, so this is the encryption is what we performed. Okay, so obviously the next part of cryptography is the decryption. So how to perform this decryption? You just perform in the reverse order. First we'll go for column reversing, next we'll go for row reshuffling. Okay, so column reverse, so this, see, you have to apply that to the ciphertext. Okay, so first you'll take the ciphertext content, write the ciphertext content in row major order. So I'll get this, okay, this column transposition. For this I'll be applying again the reshuffling thing. Okay, so in the reshuffling thing, now what I'll do, the fourth column will become first column. See, before I had see this, now here in this column I'll take the fourth column now becomes first column, because I want this matrix back. Okay, so for that what I'll do, the fourth column will become first column. Okay, and the third column should become what? Second, and the the fourth column will become, sorry, the second column here it becomes, so the third column here it becomes second column, should become second column. The first column will become third column, and the second column here it should become fourth column. That is what we have done here. See, fourth column becomes first, third column becomes second, first column becomes third, second becomes fourth. Okay, so I'll get back this. So you just reverse it. Okay, next comes reverse row shuffling. See here, so previously whatever I add here in this row shuffling, so I'll just reverse them. Okay, so on reversing I should get back this. Fine. See here, the third one, see, the third should become 1, the third should be copied to first. Okay, and second should be here, the fifth should be copied to second. Are you following? The fifth should become second. So here you can just observe here very much clearly. Okay, so that is what is done here. So the third row content is copied to first, fifth row content is copied to second, second row content to third, 1 to 4, 4 to 5. Okay, so I'll get back my, so this reshuffling is done on this matrix. Okay, column transposition matrix. So I'll get back my original plain text. Okay, so this is all about the transposition cipher. So in transposition ciphers, we will not substitute any values, rather the given plain text content will be shuffled or rearranged, or I can simply say it as permuting. Okay, so next one more example what we have here, again one more thing I would like to clarify guys here. So this, you will have one more question, ma'am, is this standard? Should I keep this rearrangement or shuffling? Nothing as such again. Okay, so you can just share, or the sender and the receiver, they'll first decide what the shuffling or reordering for row and for column. They'll discuss first on offline, and then they'll go for the implementation part. Okay, so they can directly say the shuffling order as 4 3 1 2 3 5 2 1. Okay, or else they can give some name, like say for example they might share it as apple, APPLE. Okay, so how you can say that is the key. So A is the first letter. Okay, so A, for that 1. Okay, next PPLE, which is the next letter that comes, that is E. Okay, 1 2. For E you will give the number as 2. Okay, after E comes L. Okay, so that becomes 3. PP you give 4 and 5. So the the key or the order, it is like 1 4 5 3 2. Are you understanding? So either they can give a text says like apple, or they can directly share the numbers like 4 3 1 2. Okay, so we have one more example here. So in this example you can just observe they have already given you the plain text, and also they have given you the cipher text. Now it is your duty to the solution or the question is to find the row shuffling, in what order they have shuffled it, and what is the column order, I mean to say the row transposition and column transposition order is that what is they are expecting. Okay, so now how to write the answer, or how to find how exactly they have shuffled. Okay, so you can just observe here. Column will later see that. Okay, so for example here I'll just consider this column. See, we have R, next S, next E, and next N. Okay, see here in the first column we have all these letters, isn't it? So what exactly will be the order then? See, first R should come. That means what? This row content should come to the first row. Okay, see, that is what I have done here. Fourth column content is copied to first column. See, next what we have? S. So S, this row. So this first row content should be copied to second row. Next what we have? E. So E comes here. Okay, that is second row. Second row content should be copied to third row. See, third row, because E appears in the third row. Next N appears in fourth row. So nth row content, all the nth row content, copy it here. Okay, so now you will get this. So next, you know the answer here. So decide. R should come where? R should come in third column, isn't it? R should come in third column. So make it as third column content. Okay. So here it appears in the first row it is. So it has to appear where? In the third row. So make it as third column, make it as third column. Okay, so I have written, I've gone somewhere wrong, I guess. You just make this correction. So make this as the first column content should be appear in third column. So first column content to third column. Next what we have? Next in the answer, or else you just put it in the other way. Okay, I'm actually correct only. See here, what is the first column? In the first column I should have what? Fifth column content. Okay, so first in the first column copy fifth column content. Next what I have? N. So N, this appears where? 3 in the third column. So in the second column copy third column element. Okay, next what should appear? R, that is first column should appear in third column, and second column content in the fourth column, fourth column content in fifth column. So I will get this. So the order is, the row transposition order is this, and column transposition order is this. So you can just say 4 1 2 3 and column 5 3 1 2 4. Okay, so these type of questions may be asked, and this is an exercise problem which is asked in your textbook itself. And finally we have this one more example in the textbook discussed. So what in case if you have been provided the ciphertext? Okay, so I've retained the same order what we had used for the other example. So we have somehow I've managed to get back the plain text, but it is not that easy to find the order just by looking into ciphertext. It is really very difficult. I've just retained whatever the order for column transposition and row transposition, and I've got the answer back. So since the ciphertext is provided to us, we have to perform what? Decryption. So if you are performing decryption, then we'll be performing it in the reverse order. That is, first we'll perform column transposition, next we'll perform row transposition. And what is the order that I have followed? The previous one. Okay, 4 3 1 2, and for row we have 1 2 3 4 5. Sorry, 3 5 2 1 4. Fine. Same thing, the same explanation again I have to repeat, I guess. So the first column content, or in the other way you can just say fourth column content is copied to first column, third column content is copied to second, in this. So you will be applying for this column transposition whatever the answer that you will get after columnar transposition. So for that you will be applying row transposition. Fine. So this is all about transposition ciphers. Okay. So next is to discuss about the next topic to discuss about is the other properties. Okay, so what other properties does these ciphers or the cipher techniques actually have? Okay, so other cipher properties, see this person Shannon, by a person research scientist is. So Shannon, what he did was he just came out with two ideas whenever it comes to the operation of a cipher. So we have two ideas that we can apply. Okay, so or the cipher techniques, they'll get operated using two ideas. One is confusion, the other one is diffusion. Okay, so what is this confusion and what is this diffusion is? So in the case of confusion, say for example you have been provided with the ciphertext. Okay, so you have been provided with the ciphertext and the key. So if you try to derive the relationship between them, definitely you will get failed. You should get failed. Okay, so then that clearly says that the cryptographic algorithm that you have resulted with, it is very efficient. Okay, so just try to understand the idea of confusion. Okay, so what is the idea of confusion is the cryptographic algorithm that you will result with. Okay, to result I mean to say to get a ciphertext. So it should be so efficient that even after giving the plain text and the set of keys, okay, you'll be provided with the plain text, you'll be provided with the key. So definitely you'll end up with what? You'll be applying some encryption algorithm to the given plain text. By applying the key, you'll get what? Ciphertext. So what it means is you have been provided with all the three. Okay, and if you are asked to find the new key, say for example you have been provided with k1, k2, etc. up to ki, you have all set of plain text, you have all set of ciphertext. Okay, but if you are asked to find what could be the next possible key, so it should be very much difficult, or you should fail. It is near impossible to deduce a new key of the similar type. Okay, so then you will say that the cipher technique that you have used, it is very efficient and strong. Okay, so this idea or this technique, he just gave the name as confusion. Okay, so what, in simple words, if I want to say, it is difficult for you to to find the relationship between the ciphertext and the key. Okay, so say for example you have been asked to derive the relationship between plain text and ciphertext. That is, given plain text and ciphertext to you, and you are asked to find what? Key. So in that property or that idea, he gave the name as diffusion. Okay, so for any cipher techniques that you are resulting with, so these cipher techniques will have either confusion or diffusion quality within them. Okay, so the substitution techniques or functions whatever you studied, that is substituting each character by another character. Okay, so that technique will actually enhance this confusion property. Okay, so this diffusion property, okay, so what is this diffusion exactly is? So you'll be shuffling in such a way that no one can find the reverse order. Okay, so no one, in a sense I'm speaking about the intruder. Okay, so the intruder or any person who is hacking your text, say if he has been provided with plain text as well as what the cipher text, he should not be able to find what row transposition and what column transposition you have applied. Okay, so these transposition techniques, as good as you result with a transposition technique, this will enhance the property of diffusion. Okay, so substitution function enhances confusion, transposition enhances diffusion. So what exactly is trying to say is, in any given key, in case of confusion I'm saying, or any given key, if you change, I mean to say he'll get the key as well. See here in this case he'll be provided with the key, is it? So if we try to change any 1 or 2 bits in the given key, so that 1 or 2 bits actually will change half of the cipher text. Okay, so even if the intruder, if he has managed to get the plain text key and all, and if he has tried to manipulate things, so on changing 1 or 2 bits unknowingly, so definitely that will change half of more than half the bits of ciphertext will be different when compared to the actual key that was supposed to be operated. Okay, so in case of diffusion, given the plain text, see the plain text will be provided to him, and if he'll change 1 or 2 shuffling order, so then there is a probability of each character getting changed. Okay, 0.5 probability of each character getting changed. So these are the 2 cipher properties. I can just give the title as cipher properties, confusion and diffusion. So as you can observe here, confusion has got its own strong property, and even diffusion is also a strong property in one or the other way. So each of these 2 are having lot of benefits. So what people thought was to bring these 2 properties together. Okay, so they managed to bring both the properties as to be incorporated in one cipher technique. So they named it as product ciphers. Okay, so in future, I mean to say in the initial days, substitution function was a different one, and transposition was a different one. So since both the techniques had their own benefits, so both were brought together and they gave the title as product ciphers. Okay, so before moving on to the concept of product ciphers, we have 2 more ciphers to understand, that is block cipher and stream cipher. Okay, so what are these block ciphers and stream ciphers is, say in the case of block ciphers, I mean to say the given plain text will be divided into blocks. Okay, so say suppose if you have been provided with a plain text like 10010011000111010, if this is the plain text you have, you will be dividing them as blocks. Say in this example I've just considered as 4 blocks, but usually it will never be 4 blocks. It will be 64 blocks, 64 bits, 64 bits, 128 bits, 768 bits, 200 bits, like this Okay, each block will have so many bits. Here for you guys, for making you guys understand, so in block ciphers we'll be dividing the plain text into blocks of equal number of bits. Okay, so then we'll be applying the key. Okay, so again for each block same key is used. Okay, so you can just observe the number 1100, it is the key used here. So each block, for each block I'll be applying the same key. So if we have two identical blocks, then we'll have two identical ciphertext. That happens in the case of block cipher. Okay, and the examples we have for block ciphers are like DES, AES, RSA, ECEC, elliptic curve cryptography. So these are some of the examples for block ciphers. Okay, so next we have stream cipher. Stream cipher, the best example that we have already studied for as an example is one-time pad. Okay, so here in stream ciphers will be stream means what? Streaming. Okay, so here we'll be operating on each individual bits. Okay, separately. It's not like any block as such. So whatever the length of plain text we have, so we'll have a equivalent length of key. Okay, so each bit will be operating on like each bits will be operated individually. Okay, so that happens in the case of stream cipher. So actually the stream ciphers are stronger than block ciphers, but any of the stream ciphers actually did not get so much of publicity, not publicity actually, but instead its usage is very less. But when compared to block ciphers, stream ciphers are very much strong. One of the example is RC4. Okay, so actually this algorithm RC4, it is used in wireless LAN. It is used as wireless LAN protocol. Okay, IEEE 802.11. Okay, so stream ciphers, they are faster than block ciphers with less complicated circuits, and they are vulnerable to attack. But still we'll see in most of the application we'll end up using block ciphers. Okay, so you can just have a look here. So block ciphers, see the block sizes in secret key cryptography. In DES we'll use 64 bits as blocks. In case of AES we'll use 128. In RSA we'll use 768, and in ECC we use 200 bits. Okay, so this is all about block ciphers and stream ciphers. So in the next video lecture I'll be explaining you about product ciphers. Okay, thank you guys.